Most recipes will tell you that ultra-pasteurized milk won't work for homemade cottage cheese. And if you've ever tried it and ended up with nothing but warm milk in a pot, that's exactly why you're here. I'm using Kirkland A2 organic whole milk from Costco, ultra-pasteurized, and I'm going to show you that it does work. Before I committed to a full half gallon, I made a small batch first, because the last thing I want to do is waste good milk, and it worked beautifully. So right now we are making a full half gallon batch together. Stay with me. If you've landed here, you've probably already seen the warnings. Don't use ultra-pasteurized milk. The proteins are too damaged. It won't curd. And for a lot of milk varieties, that's a fair caution. But A2 milk is different, and the protein structure behaves differently than conventional ultra-pasteurized milk. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to make this work, step by step, and why choosing the right ultra-pasteurized milk changes everything. Fat-free milk, carrageenan, guar gum, locust bean gum, maltodextrin. Start with 64 ounces of Kirkland A2 whole milk in a large, heavy-bottomed pot. Heat it slowly over medium-low heat, and I mean slowly. We're looking for 180 degrees Fahrenheit, not boiling, not even close to boiling, 185. This step matters more than it looks because we are gently changing the protein structure of the milk. And that protein structure is exactly what gives us curds. Rush this and the curds won't form the way we want them to. Once we hit 185 degrees, we'll pull the pot off the heat. Now slowly drizzle in 6 tablespoons of raw apple cider vinegar with the mother. Go in gradually and give it one gentle stir to distribute the acid, and watch what happens. The milk begins to separate immediately. White curds pulling away from the yellowish-green whey. That separation is our confirmation that the protein structure in this ultra-pasteurized A2 milk is still completely intact. This is the moment most people said wouldn't happen. It is happening. After your rest time, we'll have a pot of fully set curds sitting in clear whey. Take a long knife and cut them into roughly 1-inch pieces using a simple cross-hatch pattern. This step is about controlling your final texture. Larger cuts hold more moisture and give you a softer, wetter curd. Smaller cuts release more whey and give you a firmer, drier result. Cut to where you want to land. Set a large colander lined with cheesecloth over a bowl and gently ladle or pour your curds and whey in. Let this drain for 8 to 9 minutes without pressing or squeezing. And here I could have used a bigger bowl, so I'm going to empty this out before the final drain happens. Here's the low carb moment worth paying attention to. The liquid draining off right now is whey, and whey is where the lactose lives. The carbohydrates in dairy are leaving the bowl with every drop. What stays behind is concentrated protein with a fraction of the carbs you started with. Lactose is sugar, so we've removed the carbohydrate by removing the lactose sugar. Once the whey has drained, we want to rinse the curds gently in cold water. I filled a bowl with ice and water, and I'll work them softly with my hands through the cheesecloth. Most recipes skip this step entirely. Don't. Rinsing removes the residual whey still clinging to the curds, which brightens the flavor, firms the texture slightly, and extends how long this will keep in your fridge. It takes 30 seconds and it really does make a difference. Transfer your rinsed curds into a bowl and add 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt. Fold it in gently. Don't stir aggressively or you'll break the curds down more than you want to. Now this is where you make a choice. If you want dry curd cottage cheese, you're done right here. If you want creamed cottage cheese, then add heavy cream 1 tablespoon at a time and fold it in until you reach the consistency you're after. I used the full 6 tablespoons for this full half-gallon batch. The cream keeps it keto or low carb friendly, and the texture it gives you is worth it. At this point, you're holding something no store-bought label can match. You know every single ingredient in that bowl. What you end up with is cottage cheese that has defined curds, clean separation, and a texture that actually holds. No carrageenan, no guar gum, no locust bean gum, no maltodextrin. All from ultra-pasteurized milk, the kind every recipe on the internet told me wouldn't work. The assumption was wrong. What actually determines success is not the pasteurization level. It's the protein structure of the milk you start with. A2 organic milk, handled correctly, gives you exactly this. This is what a foundation food looks like. 4 ingredients. No processing plant required. Just milk, heavy cream, acid, salt, and a pot on your stove. And what you end up with is cleaner, fresher, and less expensive than anything labeled A2 organic cottage cheese at the store. That's what this channel is about. Taking the foods we buy without thinking, understanding what is actually in them, and making better versions at home with simple ingredients and no shortcuts. If that's how you want to cook, we invite you to subscribe to The Healthy Skillet. New recipes every week. I'll see you in the next one.